Commodity brokering is a terrible business model. This video is going to trigger you, but just keep an open mind and watch till the end of the video because I promise you, this is going to open your eyes. To break it down, I need to first explain what is a physical commodity broker. A physical commodity broker, otherwise known as an agent or a seller's mandate or a buyer's mandate or an intermediary, is a person that connects a buyer and a seller of any physical commodity. The role of a broker dates back to the Mesopotamian time and ancient Greece, where merchants would act as intermediaries in markets to help buyers and sellers of goods like grains, spices, and textiles complete transactions. The value of a broker back then was very helpful as there was no instant communication or the internet. Trade very much relied on who you knew. So being able to connect parties that wanted to trade used to be very, very lucrative. Brokers would bridge the gap between counterparties looking to buy or sell and aid in communication. In return, they would typically be compensated on a successful completion of a deal. For example, if a broker was able to connect a seller of grain from one corner of the world to a buyer of grain 1,000 miles away and a deal was made, the broker would get a small percentage of the value of the contract. So what makes this different to a trader? Traders are individual entities that buy or sell products with an aim to make a profit from arbitrage or market fluctuations. Traders typically take ownership of the stock as they buy and resell it, whereas brokers merely connect two parties. So the key difference here is ownership. So why is being a broker a terrible business model? Well, it lies in the key difference between the business models. A broker takes no risk, all they do is connect two parties, whereas a trader takes risk. And if you heard from the old saying, no risk, no reward, you may already start to understand where I'm coming from. To break it down even simpler, take this. If you look at some of the biggest companies in the world, the ones that make the most money, why do they make the most amount of money? Because they solve very hard problems that are integral for life on Earth. People pay you more money for the problems you solve. Let's take Saudi Arabia's Aramco. They supply a lot of the world's oil, so it probably makes sense it made the most revenue as it solves one of human beings' biggest problems, the need for energy. The same goes for traders. The reason traders exist is because they bridge some gap between the producers and the end users of a product. Let's take a look at the example of wheat farmers. A commodity trader plays a crucial role by providing stability and predictability in markets that can be volatile. Taking the example of wheat, a trader might fix the price of wheat at a specific rate, allowing a farmer to lock in a price that ensures their costs are covered and they can make profit. This is immensely beneficial as it mitigates the risk farmers face from price fluctuations, ensuring they can continue their operation without fear of sudden market changes. Similarly, the person processing the wheat into flour benefits from dealing with traders. By purchasing wheat close to their production time, they minimize the risk of price fluctuations that could affect their production costs and profit margins. This timely coordination helps maintain a steady flow in the supply chain, avoiding bottlenecks or surpluses that could lead to financial losses. Moreover, traders often assist in moving goods from regions of overproduction to areas with high demand. For instance, if there is an excess of corn in one part of the country and a shortage in another, traders facilitate the transfer of corn to balance these discrepancies. This not only helps stabilize prices, but also ensures that commodities are available where they are needed most. These are just two examples traders add value to the supply chain through various types of arbitrage, capitalizing on discrepancies in markets to facilitate efficiency and balance. These arbitrage strategies enable traders to add significant value to the buyers and the sellers of the products continuously. The reason why traders make money is because they solve a problem. They add value to the supply chain. Brokers only add value on the first deal by connecting the two parties. Then after that, they take away from the deal because a fee must be paid out to them for ongoing contracts. They don't solve problems, they create problems. This ultimately makes products more expensive for the end user. Now let's go even deeper into this. Now, if you're a broker watching this, this is probably going to trigger you even more, but just think about why you actually got into brokering in the first place. You probably thought that, two people who thought they could, buy and sell, and because you thought you knew these two people, you thought you could connect them. Now, you thought, okay, wow, I can make lots and lots of money with the commission and everything like that. But the thing that you really don't understand is not only are you not actually adding value after that first deal, you're actually taking away from it because you're just a sunk cost after that first deal, but you're not actually building an asset. You see, you just creating a very risky job, a job where you don't actually have income and there's a chance where you can just be cut out no matter what. Because when you're a trader, you can go to the bank, you can raise financing because you've owned the stock. Whereas as a broker, because you're just someone who's consulted on the deal, you can't go to the bank and say, hey, listen, this is how we did this is how we did that. There's no proof. And because there's no proof to the bank, you can't raise financing and you're not building a true asset. And the reason why you probably got into business in the first place is so that you could work for yourself, you could build something of your own, and that you could essentially sell it off and build something that has value. But as a broker, you're not really doing that. And even if you wanted to do that and you wanted to be a broker, there are some people who do make it work out of the 0.01% of people. The question you need to really ask yourself is, what value are you offering to the supply chain? There's literally some people who sit on LinkedIn all day where they think they have a real buyer of sugar or rice or EN590 or copper cathode, and they think that they can create WhatsApp groups between these people and suddenly some deal is going to happen, and all they do with a couple of messages, they suddenly make hundreds and thousands of dollars, maybe millions of dollars in commission. But the real question you got to ask yourself is, why should you get paid? What, because you can speak half decent English and you can create WhatsApp groups? Really? The broker trap is something that I actually kind of fell into for a very short period of time. And what I found was, when I noticed other people doing the same thing, they tended to be people from, poorer countries. Poorer countries where they were sold a dream where if I just close this one deal, I can get out of this horrible, horrible struggle that I have. But unfortunately, that isn't the truth. Now, this is a whole video in itself. You might want to check out this video right here because I go through that in painstaking detail. Speak to you soon. Goodbye.